Hi everybody, I'm David Blake Jones, the owner at Atlanta Restorative Acupuncture. I'm very excited because this is my first Facebook Live and I'm going to talk about something I'm very passionate about because it has significance for me, and I believe by the end of this you'll understand why it should be significant for you as well. So that topic is meditation, and specifically I'm going to talk about two myths of meditation that keeps many people from either beginning a practice or sustaining an effortless practice. But before I do that, I want to talk briefly about why meditation is so important to me, why I'm so passionate about it. And then I think it'll become a little clearer to you also why it should be important to you as well, given its benefits. So a lot of people don't know this, but when I was very young, I was burned severely. I pulled a cord on a humidifier, and back in the early 70s, I believe it was, I was 2 or 3, the humidifiers would emit steam through boiling water. And so I yanked a cord in the bathroom and all that hot water came onto me. And of course my mom rushed me to the hospital. And but I believe that traumatic incident had a powerful effect on me, on my nervous system in particular, because I had a lot of nightmares as a kid. I was a very stressed out kid in high school, college, and I began to really suffer when I was in grad school, soon after I graduated from college. I would lie awake at night till 6 a.m. in the morning most nights. I would get maybe 1 or 2 hours of sleep. Maybe I would, be able to recover some on the weekend, but the weeknights were just very stressful for me. I didn't get much sleep at all. I had really bad skin rashes. I had painful abdominal cramping and excessive gas. I had frequent colds and flus, frequent sore throats, really bad fatigue for somebody of my age, and a low sex drive for somebody in their early 20s. It was really low. And I really believe that part of that was due to the fact that I had never learned to relax, and my physiology was stuck in a fight or flight response because of that traumatic incident. Now, I made an appointment to see a psychiatrist at some point when I was in graduate school because I was getting very depressed. And I was determined to get on antidepressants. But something happened that I believe was for the best in the long run. The doctor's office at the school, somehow the schedule was I was not scheduled properly, and they called to tell me I was going to have to wait another month to see the doctor. Well, again, I was determined to feel better, and I think I instinctively knew that there had to be things I could do to awaken my inner healer. Ironically, I was in a program, a school of public health, learning how to promote wellness. But I really don't feel like I was learning to promote wellness. I feel like it was more about learning how to manipulate people into going for a doctor visit or getting a vaccination, getting a mammogram, etc. And while those can be very important, I felt at the time that I wasn't really learning how to empower people to activate their inner healer, to activate that internal pharmacy that as a doctor of acupuncture and Chinese medicine, I really love doing. And I love teaching people how to do it for themselves as well. So because that appointment was screwed up, I was forced to figure out how I was going to solve my depression. So I started exercising, and I started feeling better. Not 100% better, but a lot better. And I began exploring meditation, and I could never find a technique that felt comfortable with me. Everything felt forced. And it wasn't until I learned to practice primordial sound meditation that I understood that meditation didn't have to be about effort and concentration. And so my sleeping improved when I started adopting healthier habits, when I started exercising more. Um, and especially when I learned to meditate, my sleeping really improved. The skin problems went away. My relationships improved, especially with my family, and most importantly with myself. I began to love myself a lot more, and I began to feel like I was connecting to the inner peace I had been looking for so long. I was connecting with a happiness deep inside that I could not find outside of myself. So that's why meditation is so important to me, because it really turned my life around and inspired me to continue to become a healer. Now, why should it be important for you? Now, many of you are going through or have gone through traumas even worse than what I went through as a little kid. Many of you may be stuck in that fight or flight response. But regardless of whether you've had trauma or not, we all experience stress. And that regular activation of the fight or flight response that comes with stress, the increased heart rate, the increased blood pressure, the decreased immunity, the increased clotting of the blood, the movement of blood from our organs to our external part of our body, that's not good for us in the long run. It leads to chronic disease. It leads to heart disease, cancer, digestive problems, insomnia, addictions, you name it. It leads to more colds and flus. So there are now hundreds of studies documenting the power of meditation to counterbalance the fight or flight response. So that is why meditation should be important for you as well. It's such a powerful tool to activate your internal pharmacy. I can't stress that enough, and that's why I'm so passionate about it. And it's why I love sharing the wisdom of meditation with my students. But let's get into these two myths, because maybe they've kept you from starting a practice or sustaining a practice. So the first myth is that meditation requires effort and concentration. That's wrong. Effort and concentration imply thought, and thought leads to thought. And in meditation, we're moving away from the noise in our head towards more abstract thought and ultimately silence. So then how do we meditate? Well, we need the right technique. We need a way for our mind to be coaxed into letting go. We need a way to become a witness to our mind rather than captive to it. And thankfully, the yogis came up with techniques like primordial sun meditation that allow people who don't have time to sit in silence all day to get a glimpse of our soul. In primordial sun meditation, we're putting our gentle attention on a sound, which has no specific meaning. So there's nothing to keep our attention at the level of the intellect. And because of that, it disconnects our thoughts from one another in a good way, so that we become more aware of the silence between our thoughts, so that our physiology has a chance to calm down and get some much needed rest. We experience a level of rest twice as deep as the deepest stage of sleep when we meditate with effortlessness and experience the state of restful awareness that scientists have documented in research studies. So that's the first myth. We don't need to force or concentrate. We just need an effortless technique that will coax our mind into letting go. The second myth is that we meditate for the experience we have in the meditation. That's not true. For while meditation can be quite blissful, the real reason we meditate is because of the after effect it has on our life. When we meditate, we go into the field of pure awareness, the state of restful awareness that I discussed. It's in that space between our thoughts that most of us are never aware of because we're so captive to our mind. Now, some of us may become aware of that space or realize that we've been in it when we're at the beach or if we are on vacation, have some time off, but we need a way to do that on a daily basis to counteract the fight or flight response, to prevent disease, to experience greater inner peace. So in truth, we meditate for the after effect. So it's like diving into a pool. When you get out of the pool, you're still wet. You carry a residue of the water with you. Well, it's the same for meditation. When we meditate, we touch the field of pure awareness. Our awareness is expanded. And a residue of that comes back with us out of the meditation into our daily life. So we have more inner peace. We have a healthier physiology. We have fewer colds and flus. we have a lower chance of getting cancer. We have a lower chance of getting heart disease. We don't have insomnia like we did before. And believe me, insomnia is such a killer. Insomnia can cause weight problems because it makes you hungry during the day. It's bad for your immune system. It makes it very hard for you to have inner peace and to be happy. So we carry the effect of meditation with us into our daily life. That's why we meditate. So this takes a lot of pressure off of people when they realize, oh, as long as I'm practicing the technique with effortlessness, it doesn't really matter what happens in the meditation. I'm going to benefit. So meditation is a very practical thing. It's not this ethereal thing that people think it is. It's very practical. It's like mental hygiene. It's just as important as flossing and brushing our teeth, in truth, if we want to prevent disease and we want to cultivate a happiness beyond circumstances, an inner peace beyond circumstances. So if you would like to foster inner peace, if you are tired of having conflict with people you love, if you're tired of being overly judgmental to other people and yourself, if you're having trouble sleeping at night, whether it's falling asleep, staying asleep, or waking up too early in the morning, if you have painful digestion, whether it's irritable bowel, Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis, I guarantee you stress does not help. If you have fatigue, if you have a low sex drive, if you are just not feeling that you're living the life you want, meditation is one thing that we can say with simplicity that in general it improves the quality of your life. It doesn't make everything perfect, doesn't make everything okay, but in general it improves the quality of your life. And a daily practice is so worth it. So if you would like to experience the benefits of meditation, I'm going to be holding a class in primordial sun meditation the weekend of October 27th and 28th from 3:30 to 6 p.m. To register, go to atlantaacupuncturecenter.com, click on the menu where it says meditation, and you'll see a drop-down menu. You'll see the words reserve your space now. So if you want to experience the benefits of meditation, go ahead and reserve your space now. You can reserve your space with only $100 deposit, and that is applicable to the class rate of $395. Now, if you register before October 13th, I will lower the rate by 25%. But regardless of what you end up paying, this is such an amazingly wise investment for your future. If you have any questions about this, feel free to PM me. Now, only 6 people can be in this class. I only have space for 6 people, okay? Because I spend time with each person, making sure that they're comfortable with the process before they leave on their own to practice on their own. So go ahead and register now before someone else does and takes your place. This is one thing I guarantee you will never regret. I have testimonials on my website. Feel free to check them out. So again, October 27th and 28th from 3:30 to 6. Make this investment in yourself. Go ahead and register now or PM me to get any questions answered. Now, please be sure to look for other Facebook Lives coming up. I'm going to be touching on other topics, such as the role of acupuncture and Chinese medicine in healing eye and vision problems, like glaucoma, diabetic retinopathy, retinitis pigmentosa, dry eyes. I'll be talking about how meditation, acupuncture, and Chinese medicine can optimize your sleep pattern so that you aren't hungry all the time, so that you can lose weight. I'm going to do videos on the role of acupuncture in relieving chronic pain, and so just many topics. So thank you for watching, and I look forward to sharing the wisdom I've learned over the years from other people with you in future videos.